Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands and welcome to SP Reviews, where today we're going to be listening to a few tracks off of an album titled Long Story Short by an act named Shorty Will. And if we switch over to here, we are on Spotify, my Long Story Short album. We've got 11 tracks here. We're going to be listening, what are we going to be listening to? Scars, Enemies, Old and New. So Scars, Enemies, and Old and New. So we're going to listen through each of these tracks from start to finish and hear what we think. Let's go. Oh, cool. Nice tight drums. Phone filter on the vocals.
What do you know about these scars? The ones that ain't visible. I'm talking unseen, not physical. And do you...
Dude, the bass is so succinct and well-rounded. I'm loving the overall tone of this track so far.
Or do you judge me by what he say when he would never say it to my face? And you should find that rather odd.
Yeah, we've got an interesting tonality to this album so far at the moment. I'm liking the harmonized vocals, the double tracking in this hook section. Oh, this is a... I think this is a verse actually.
Then you can't see all of these scars. Now I done lost some things in life that I can never get back.
Oh no, that was the chorus.
Now I done took some things in life that I can never give back. Due to the fact ain't no reversal. Real life, no rehearsal. See, it was on and popping before I left my mother's vessel. In other words, her womb. See, we was off in that room when Meeks killed Frank point blank that afternoon. She should have been in school, only a teen. Had to work house cleaning. That's how we ended up on that scene. What do you know about these scars?
Damn, man, he's been through some shit. Been through some shit, man. It's not fun at all, man. It's great that Shorty Will's managed to get through it.
The ones that ain't visible, I'm talking unseen.
Some very subtle strings in the background. Some nice tail ends on these melodies there in the strings.
He would never say it to my face, and you should find that rather odd.
Yeah, I'm liking these little inflections. We've got the vocals as well. There's a melodic element to it, which I'm enjoying here, you know.
I guess you don't know no better, and you playing with the wrong deck of cards. Because if you don't know my heart, then you can't see all of these scars.
Damn, we got the space here in this mix as well. Like, we're confident that the music can speak for itself. Yeah, if you don't know someone's heart, you won't know their scars. I can vibe with that. It makes a lot of sense to me. Great work, Shorty Will. Fantastic music.
Both shooters drew down, but Meeks got off the best. One round straight through Frank's chest like the old Wild West. Carrying her child, my mother witnessed that. Bloody drama, which gave us both trauma. So here I am, your honor. And the only thing that I was ever promised is that this life come with scars. And I got that straight from my mama. And she ain't never lied. These truths stay by my side. She told me only the strong survive. What do you know about these scars?
What do you... I like the intent behind the way these words are said. What do you know about these scars? You know, that way of phrasing it is very matter of fact. What do you know about it? You know, there's no uncertainty there in that delivery. And it's rhythmical. And it's well considered. And it was an interesting story to be told. Yeah, you know, it is survival of the fittest out there. Obviously, some people have it easier than others. This sounds like a horrifying situation. You know, it sounds unimaginable. And I'm genuinely sorry that Shorty Will had to go through this. Unfortunately, some of the best music can come from the most horrific of experiences.
The ones that ain't visible, I'm talking unseen, not physical. And do you know my heart?
Yeah, trauma and stuff like that.
What he say when he would never say it to my face. And you should find...
I like that. It's just, it stands out amongst the more controlled, careful delivery of everything. It sounds sort of incredulous. It's emoting really well within the music.
But I guess you don't know no better, and you playing with the wrong deck of cards. Because if you don't know my heart, then you can't see all of...
There's a piano in there as well. I'm liking the flexibility within his composition. The drums and bass are consistent.
that day, man. He told Meeks that he was finna step next door and get his shit, and when he get back, what he was gonna do with it. He went home, he got his gun, he came back, he lost the gunfight.
Damn, that's horrible. Again, I'm really sorry to hear that. You know, when someone produces an album like Shorty Will has, they let you into their world, and you gotta do your best to absorb it and do what you can with it, right? Hell, man, that's some deep stuff. We've got Enemies. Yeah, Enemies is the second one with Shorty Will and Melv.
Nobody knows.
Some guitar in there, bit of modulation.
Nobody cares.
Is that Melv doing the clean vocals with the vibrato?
It's still hard to believe that you would just up and leave. A lot of pain I did cause, but not enough for you to roll the balls. To run off with my firstborn like she was all yours. Sometimes I wonder if you ever told her that we was both whores. And that's how we cut each other. I remember we was for each other.
This is kind of getting to me a little bit, not necessarily in a bad way, but this is quite well done. Actually, there's a polish and a professionalism in everything involved within this album that I don't really hear that often, and it's a privilege to be able to listen to it. No hyperbole there.
With another motherfucker while I was up on that shelf, and yeah, I brought that on myself. Still throughout that whole bid, who you was right there by my side with the lies. Till I
Just the resonance in the low end, it's just so heavy. Alongside the subject matter, it makes a lot of sense.
love in your eyes, yet I was too young to understand that you was dying inside from me being in that cage after I was the first one to touch you. And now you get passed around by niggas that just fuck you. And I know they made you suck too. And I
Shit, man. There's no holding back. It's very blunt.
lied like I forgave you, held on till I got back. Return of the Mac, cause I can't forget back. Because I just couldn't forget that. But I wish I did when I look back. We became enemies. You don't know my pain. You don't know my pain. You don't know my pain. We became enemies. You don't know my pain.
I'm liking the difference in the vocal styles here. I'm also appreciating the musical theme that we've got here. The bass and drum focus in these verses is contrasted by the coloration in these hooks. And when I listen to this music, it's another level. We're repeating these vocal melodies for effect. Came Enemies. Cool and responsive with the higher vocals there. Got some woodwind instruments there. What was that? Yeah, I think we're going to a diminished chord on that fourth time.
To this day, I still haven't got to see how she grew. I raised her for 3 years, and then y'all just up and disappeared. I held out hope that you come back, but you never did, and it took a toll on my soul. Even though I don't show it till I rap my feelings in this music, express my pain like a poet. I cried like a newborn when I wrote it. I held it in for so long, but right now I got to let it out right here on this song.
It's a beautiful experience. It genuinely sounds like it's coming from the heart, and it sounds like a viciously brutal experience. Like, imagine raising a kid for 3 years and then just it's struggle, man. It really. Wow.
Out of sight, be out of mind, but that don't work all the time. That doctor told me I had cancer, and I was running out of time. Who
Oh.
you think rushed to the front of my mind? My little child that I hadn't seen since age 3. Around that time, she was 18, and she'd been lied to. Cause you didn't tell her the truth, and that's what put me in my feelings right here in this booth. But she's part of the reason that I didn't tap out that season. I said no to death and let the Lord guide my steps.
Beautiful. What a life, eh? Learned so much about Shorty Will in the space of 2 tracks. Fantastically told music, even if it can be difficult to listen to at times just because how raw it is. It's so well crafted, man, and like I don't want to sound like I'm exaggerating the praise that I have for this. I just can't really fault it. I think it's fantastic. It serves the purpose within the genre very, very, very well. Like I can hear the vocals clearly, you know, I can hear the other elements of the mix well. The music is accompanying the singers and rapping well. It remains interesting the whole time as well. Like even if we are repeating these chord progressions, you know, like they're catchy and interesting and engaging enough for you to get repeat listening value through it, and you might catch something the next time. You know, the second time you listen to it. Melv's a fantastic singer and has great technique. Very good foil to what Shorty was trying to do here. Yeah, it sounds like I'm being very, very, very generous in my praise here, but I think primarily because music is about expressing yourself, creating music that serves the purpose. At least to me, that's how it's meant to be. Everything needs to kind of make sense together, and the listening experience with this is very pleasurable. I even again if it is difficult to listen to because of the amount of pain that is involved. The production, recording, mixing, and mastering is sensational, and the tracks as well are short enough that they're bite-sized. Each of these tracks, aside from Glorious at the end, is between the 2 and 4 minute mark. It's exactly the sweet spot for singles nowadays. There's been careful consideration put into every single element of this album. I'm thankful for that. We've got Old and New, track number 3.
Here we go. Yeah. Black feel good.
This is the more it's got a few thousand plays, which is great.
Never be ashamed of who you are, what you've been through. No, cause niggas love to point the finger. If he can't see himself when he walk away from that mirror, then to himself he's a stranger. See, that reflection that he saw was the image of God, but he don't take it when he walk away. His life is.
We've got these lovely strings and guitar parts in here, and the kicks is just so tight. And there's such a calm, it's such a mature delivery of each of the lyrics and stanzas within these tracks. It's a confident performance.
He never take it when he walk away. His life can't live up to their expectations, cause they always gonna expect more. They don't care about you having less, they just want more of whatever you giving. They all about taking anything that's not original is all about faking. People inwardly mad at
Everything is all that comment about the faking.
and you wonder why they hating. I stay to myself, cause the most I'm not relating. Separation ain't a bad thing. Some only concerned about Jordans and some pocket change. I seen the bigger picture, I see the bigger picture. That big picture got smaller when that cancer hit me. I couldn't depend on none of y'all, I had to be with me.
Shit, man. Yeah, that cancer really, obviously it would be terrifying. It would really muck you up. To have to deal with, what a life. What a situation, eh?
Ask the Lord to see me through until I see different. Cause see, between me and you there's really no difference, except the fact that I'm block born magnificent. I'm sure they will, and that's exactly who I'm supposed to be. So I could care less what you cowards think or say about me. Never be ashamed of who you are, what you've been through. No, cause niggas love to point the finger.
This is like kind of a friend telling you how to keep yourself safe and well in the world, you know? There's a companionship, a tonality of friendliness within this. He never take it when he walk away, his life is hard. I ain't never been the type to back down from the fight. Never stingy with my shine, I give other brothers light. When I was sorta deaf and dumb, I gave other brothers sight. The runt of my hood, so you know I got to fight. Know how to dish it, know how to take it. Bloodline is sacred, so I could never fake it to make it. Now, what you see is what it be. Did them biz day for day, trying to figure out the way to make the play and make them pay. For old and new, in the days I had holes in my shoes. Still one of the sharpest on paper at school. Didn't know it at the time, so was quick to act a fool. Damn, it's just so interesting to hear his tale, to hear his story. He's talking it's like an open book, isn't it? Long story short, I don't know why this surprises me at this point because I've listened to a lot of hip hop and rap. But like at the same time, it's intriguing. And it's weird that someone I never listened to before that I have had no interaction with that I'd want to hear more about him. I think it's just because even though there is some hard hitting information within this, it's just delivered in a way where it kind of is just letting you just hang out and chill whilst the story is being told. And I think that's the best way to communicate. It's non confrontational despite the subject matter.
Till we made it cool. Yeah, we made our own rules, but that come with a price. Up and downs in life. Pay your dues and move.
I mean, like, we've got a very few chromatics within this music, you know, like in terms of like the chord progressions and the harmonies and all that. We're working with natural major and minor chords for the most part, scales for the most part.
If he can't see himself when he walk away from that mirror, then to himself he's a stranger.
I'm liking how he's harmonizing the vocals with the guitar parts as well and the melodies that they're playing.
That he saw was the image of God, but he don't take it when he walk away. His life is hard. Some can relate. He never take it when he walk away. His life is hard.
Man, like, hip hop's hard. Hip hop's hard, dude. I remember when I was growing up, and I used to have friends that were like, "Oh, hip hop it's, you know, like I'd have people say there was no talent involved, and it's completely fucking ridiculous, right? There's a lot of talent involved, and being able to rap well in order to be able to emote well and perform and to be able to again the storytelling involved, the journey you go on with the listener, in addition to the actual vocal performance and the ability, the way that you actually rap, you know, and the practice and polish involved with that, in addition to the different instrumental parts and the production and just all the other music theory involved. Like there's so much involved in being a competent rap and hip hop artist. And Shorty Will, I think that they're if they're not there, they're pretty damn close. I think this is one of the more confident performances I've heard. And in addition to that, I feel like the confidence is justified. We have ourselves an act where there was not an iota of a moment where I felt we were maybe going to have a bit of a rough time because there was an element that was sticking out like a sore thumb. It just was solid throughout, like Scars and Enemies and Old and New. When I can sort of think back to each of those songs, and I know what they're about because I heard the lyrics nice and clearly. While you know there were all these different interesting sort of instrumental parts, each of the tracks was unique enough to not just fade into like a blubby kind of glob. It's good. You've got stylistic consistency and coherency across an album. It's just what you need, right? It's just what you need. Long story short, the album name sort of stands for itself. 11 tracks. 11 tracks. You know, it might not seem like a lot of time to tell a story, but we've just fit so much information in. And I feel like if you enjoyed these 3 tracks today from Shorty Will and as well as Melv, and I think there's Mark G and Main Ease as well. If you enjoyed the 3 tracks we listened to today, I'd recommend listening to the whole album, to be honest. It seems like it's well worth it. I am going to give that a heart because I think this is one of the better hip-hop albums I've listened to this year, and that's not an easy thing for me to say. There's a lot of really good music in this genre being released at the moment, or the very least stuff that I get to listen to. Very little amateur hour stuff now. So to stand out like Long Story Short by Shorty Will has is an achievement and something to be very, very proud of. I hope Shorty Willers too have been able to get through these struggles with cancer, with the difficulties with his family and his child and everyone else, and people becoming enemies and things becoming really toxic, and people just taking stuff for granted and stuff, and then realize, no way, actually I might not have that anymore. there's all these different topics involved in this, and I think that they're all handled again very maturely and in a way that is intelligent and respectful to the subject matter and the musicality of it and everything else involved. Just trying to make sure I haven't forgotten anything. I mean, this is a very long 3-track review. Usually they're a bit shorter than this, especially when you've got 2 to 4 minute tracks. But I feel like it's the least I can do just to make sure I haven't missed anything, because I can tell that Shorty Well has put all his effort into make this a really stunning album, and I'm glad that he's getting some attention for it. Those 5,800 plays. I'm glad that that's a thing that's occurring. You know, it is great quality music. And the beauty of like structuring an album like this is if you're talking about a period of your life, you know, you can set that precedent for the next album just being another period in your life. You know, like it's easy to replicate and keep a consistency across your brand. It's just really clever stuff. Well done, Shorty Well. The rapping itself was eloquent, and we clearly have had some time, some practice. I liked the way that the vocals are double tracked as well, and yeah, it was well done. This is effectively my review though of Shorty Well's Long Story Short. Hopefully you did enjoy this review. If you did, please do go check out this album and show Shorty Well some love via his various social medias and Spotify page, and stay cool and stay safe, and please also remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as they need the help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on. Catch you next review. Spiderhands out.